Welcome, everybody, to January 25th, 2026 edition of the Character Issues News Network for news. I am your host, Brian Edwards. Joining me, as always, is senior correspondent Leah Haydu. Leah, how are you?
Brian, I've had better weeks, but we're okay.
Is there any news you want to report?
I went back and forth about how much I actually wanted to share about what happened to me this week. For now, I'm just going to say I had minor surgery. I'm fine, but it has been very uncomfortable, and you can exposit that however you would like.
Copy that. Foreign correspondent Rich Davison, do you have any updates on Leah's current status that you'd like to report on, with or without her approval?
You know what it is. I best not reveal anything. I think less is more to our dear listeners. So.
Well, welcome everybody. Thank you for coming back for our third news show. I feel like it does feel like the third show stride. I feel like we're just gonna fucking knock this one out of the park. I mean, we already knocked the other two out of the park, so it's not a stretch to think that we're gonna also nail this one. But
always, yeah.
We're gonna come to you with the three hottest stories in the video game world and talk about them. And the first one I think we're gonna talk about is the Xbox Developer Direct that happened just 3 days ago in time for time of recording, 4 days ago as you're listening to this. And I think the overwhelming thought out of this that I kind of want to focus on was that this was a Microsoft produced, Xbox-focused developer direct that people seem positive on.
Whoa.
So,
yeah, Xbox has not been in the best graces of the public, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
So this is interesting, and also as we learned just prior to in the green room, if you will, exactly one out of the three of us actually watched this direct. So this will be. Only the finest commentary.
Yes. Well, so the way I figured I'd handle this is that I'll just go through them in the order they talked about them in the thing, and just kind of get your guys' reactions. If you have anything even remotely interesting to say. The first one, which is not surprised that they led with, is Forza Horizon 6. We knew that was going to be set in Japan. They had already told us that during the Tokyo Game Show, I believe. And then they showed it off, and it looks like a Forza Horizon game. I don't I find myself with I have Forza Horizon 5 and I played it to completion, air quotes. I finished the Forza Horizon story, the Horizon Festival, which is the lamest, most aggro Fast and the Furious with no teeth type of storyline.
Is that the one where they have I am not a car person, but is that the one where they had the influencer festival thing?
Oh, yeah.
That was okay. Yep.
You nailed it.
Okay.
So literally they're dropped in Forza Horizon 5, which I think that one takes place in Australia, or is it Mexico? It's either Mexico or Australia. I forget.
It could be either. As we've learned from Death Stranding 2, they're connected.
They literally, the opening of these games is they're expecting you at they're expecting you at the Horizon Festival. Make sure to make an entrance, and then they drop you off in a BMW from a jumbo jet with parachutes, and then you race a plane. It's the most over the top shit, but it is a really fun open world driving. You can do all the races and stuff, but you can just drive around and go through billboards and stuff. It's a pretty stress-free, I'm telling you, this is the take a gummy and play type of racing game for sure.
Yeah.
Do these games do anything for you guys?
I think this is really more of a Rich question. Yeah.
No, tell me all about your love of motor racing there. No, spare
I
no
liked
detail.
Fast and the Furious, so I got kind of excited when Brian said that, but then he said without teeth, and I mean, that series does not have a whole lot of teeth anyway, so if you're really making a point on that, it's probably not something I need.
Now this one, the way they do progression in this one, and I'm gonna kick to you, Rich. So I just want your live reaction. Is that normally you're coming in as like this like legendary car influencer, whatever the fuck that means. This one you're coming in, you're trying to get into the festival. So the way that you upgrade is you unlock different colors of wristbands that give you different levels of access to the festival. Rich, I know you're a Gran Turismo guy. Like, do these like this isn't necessarily an arcade racer, but it's certainly not a sim either. Like, where do you fall on these?
So that's like Forza Motorsport, isn't it? It has its own kind of unique
which I guess is like completely shuttered. Like Turn 10, like I guess is like, they're talking like the last one was kind of a flop, so they're not gonna proceed, or at least they're gonna give it to Playground. I don't know.
So the truth is that I'm not an Xbox owner, and I haven't played or rather owned an Xbox game console since like 2010. I think like I had a lot of red ring issues on the Xbox 360, and that was where I kind of decided, I'm going to boycott it. But I've always coveted the Forza games because they look just like a hell of a lot of fun. Now, obviously Forza 5, I think it was, has fairly recently been released on PlayStation 5 actually.
Yep.
But it and a lot of the other Microsoft games like Sea of Thieves, Flight Simulator have held their value very, very highly on the PlayStation. And I wonder if there's a little bit of like who's actually governing the cost of those things, whether it's Microsoft or Sony. But I mean, I've never really like dabbled, but these games always look really interesting, like a good time to be had. There's always like clips of things like this on different social media sites where people have like fucked about with it and made like a load of little bits and pieces, and it always looks like great fun. And you know what? Set a game in Japan and I'm pretty much there as the reality.
Yeah,
like, I'll play that
I
all
was
day,
thinking
every day.
like this comes out in May 19th, I believe. Yeah, May 19th. And like I was kind of like I don't think I'm at the point where I'm paying $70 on release day for one of these games. And I'm not signing back up for Game Pass because that's my own personal line with Microsoft right now. But I played through Forza Horizon 5 and really enjoyed it. I could see I could see this being like one of those quietly huge games. You know what I mean?
Well, I think it's generally considered to be a system seller for Microsoft. So I'm not surprised that they've got Playground working on this, and obviously the next game in the show obviously is the same developer. Brian, like, did I mean, it's an Xbox developer conference, so I don't suppose they exactly publicize this, but is this being cross-released on PlayStation?
Yeah, no, they full on said for all of these games except for actually I don't know if they said it for Kiln, but they said it for Forza and Fable directly. The words PlayStation 5 came out of Xbox employees on this direct.
Okay, well they know where
so
they're
they are just full on out the box. Yeah, they're at least Forza and Fable will be coming day and date to PlayStation.
Nice. So simultaneously released it with PS5 and okay.
Yep.
That is a really wild. God, can you imagine hearing this like 3 years ago?
Yeah, even like a year ago, right? Like there would have been people with green logos on X losing their minds, being like, "They'll never do it," But
there
like,
probably are.
that's-
I don't know what's happening on X right now because I'm not a masochist.
Yeah, me too. But like that has all but gone away. And honestly, like for the people who work at Xbox, not the people who run Xbox, like I'm happy for them for that because like that's where the player base is, right?
Yeah.
So like you want your game to sell and to get to the most people so that you can stay employed and make another game and all that good stuff. So I'm hoping that does numbers for them. It's my understanding that Forza Horizon 5 sells like fucking bananas on PlayStation. So
well, I mean,
I can imagine.
It's been a long time since Sega stopped making consoles and decided to go the software route instead. But this is happened before, right? And Xbox is not doing so hot in the hardware race. So if this is the way that they decide to go, it's probably better and smarter for them than just driving the console part into the ground and insisting that, we're going to keep doing this when it's clearly not working and people are pissed about it. So, I mean, if they can stay as a going concern by staying as a publisher and a creator and, make nice with Sony, then that's probably going to bring them way more money than if they didn't.
yeah.
It just makes sense. I mean, sorry, Ryan, but like There is nothing like this on PlayStation. There is no comparable game to Forza Horizon on PlayStation. So like, go and do it. Like this is a great bit of kind of product placement and stuff on PlayStation. I think it's a sound idea, and I'm probably gonna pick it up. I'm not gonna lie. I think it sounds great, and what a great point to jump onto the series for me.
Absolutely. I played the hell out of the Xbox 360 ones. I think it was Horizon and Horizon 2. They're really fun games. Like it reminds you, it's like Burnout Paradise without the destruction, kind of. It's a good time. The next game is actually, so like, you want to talk about like weird like fandoms eating each other and like slowly merging into this megalopolis of fucking video games. The next game is an Xbox produced Game Freak game, as in the makers of Pokemon, and it's a Souls-like, which I also believe is coming to PlayStation 5. I have to confirm that just to make sure. So, like, you want to talk about everything just eating itself. This is called Beasts of Reincarnation. This game looks really fucking cool. It does look like the Pokemon people are making a Souls-like. Like, so I don't want to, like... It doesn't look like much more than that, but the art style and the kind of tone that they've gone for, like this seems to me, and again, I have no source to back this up, but it's like, hey, you know how you guys are complaining that Pokemon games never look good or like run good? Like we can do that. Here it is. It's just maybe Nintendo doesn't give us the money to let us do it with Pokemon, because this game looks fucking beautiful. This feels to me like a bit of a Leah and Rich game, to be honest. Like it's it looks like it has some Neo vibes for sure. Definitely.
Okay.
Set a game in Japan. I know you already, but it's kind of like Cyborg Samurai, not Cyborg Samurai, but like it's a little like futuristic, but like still very much like feudal Japan inspired with kind of these futuristic elements. And also you have a giant wolf companion who's about twice the size of a human. I'm not mad at that. If anything bad happens to that wolf, I'm going to be upset. Yep. But yeah, like, so I guess less about like Game Freak and less about like this game, like where are you guys at with the Souls like games that aren't FromSoft games? Like are we reaching peak saturation in that? Like, are you still down to try one? Because, like, in my mind, I'm like, I should try Lies of P, but it's been 4 years, and I have yet to try Lies of P. You know what I mean? Like, so, like, are we getting to the point where...
I mean, I think we've blown past the point of saturation with Souls-likes. Okay. And I don't even necessarily think that that's a terrible thing. As long as you can kind of look at what's been released and see if there is anything that is like, if you try to keep up with all of them, then that's just a losing proposition. But
sure,
if you are able to have kind of an idea of what will land for you, then I mean, more choice is great, right? Like, as long as it's quality and as long as there's people who want it, then sure, do it. I am playing Bloodborne for the umpteenth time, so I don't know if I'm the best person to really speak on that. I did play a little bit of Lies of P. I got stuck somewhere and never actually went back to it, but I might at some point. But I mean, it's really good. There are some of these games that are in fact really good. So that's
so like. Rich, I know you celebrate the Neo franchise. Neo 3 comes out this year, right?
Yeah, I know. I'm looking forward to that.
Next month, I think, right?
It is, yeah.
And then I know that you have you enjoyed. I always fuck this up. It's not Wu-Chang Fallen Feathers. It's
Wolong.
Wolong Fallen Dynasty. Yeah,
Wu-Tang,
I always screw that up. With the Wu-Tang Clan enter
me and ODB. Yeah,
exactly.
I think of ODB every time I think of you.
Do you have do these games have to tick a certain amount of boxes for you to try them out? Or
it's less that, I just essentially I just kind of like ration myself on these kind of things, because it's like last year it was I played a lot of Wulong. Oh my god, oh my god, I've already forgotten what it's called. Black Myth Wukong, because it was a tournament show that I couldn't make it on. The year before that, it was a lot of like Stranger of Paradise, oh god, and Wulong Fallen Kingdom. So, like, you know, I've got time and space for these things, but they're kind of coming out thick and fast, aren't they? And I'm struggling to keep a hold of this. So, like, on my to-play list is the likes of, like, Wu-Chang Fallen Feathers. Stellar Blade, obviously a game that kind of borrows heavily from that as well. So, you know what? Every time I play one of these games, I have a lot of time for it. But, like, I could be playing nothing but these games at this point in my life, and I have to be really particular about what it is. So I've got a bit of brand loyalty, the likes of Neo, for example. Like that's an all-timer as far as I'm concerned. But like, I think this game looks pretty good, you know? Like, Game Freak as a studio, I'm interested to see what they make that isn't flipping Pokemon. You know, the last time they released a game that wasn't Pokemon was 2019 with Giga Wrecker Alt, which was a PS4 game. And Little Town Hero, everything in the last 6 years has been essentially nothing but Pokemon.
I like that rhythm game that they did on the 3DS, and I can't remember what it was called, but I really liked it.
Oh my god.
They didn't do Elite Beat. No, that was DS.
No, it was like Harmonite. Harmonite? Is that right?
Sure.
Yeah. Sure, why not?
Sounds like a game.
But something along those lines.
Did you guys know that in 2015 they published alongside, it was published by Sega but made by Game Freak, a game called Tembo the Badass Elephant?
Yes, I did know that.
That's an amazing looking game.
I forgot about it until this moment.
Why have I not heard of
but
this?
But I do remember the name.
I want to play this.
I will say that what really caught my attention about this game in particular is that I clicked on the link that, Brian, you put in our show notes and immediately saw a quote from the game's director and writer, Kota Furushima, who says, "I began by quietly asking my own heart what kind of sensations I wanted the game to offer." And that's all I really need.
I find myself doing that every time I log into work, and usually it's go home.
Yep.
The thing I really did like about the trailer for this game is that some of it looked kind of, you know, what you would expect, but the enemy design looks really interesting. Like, it's a lot of like natural animals with like these like kind of like plants that have like taken them over. So there's this giant stag with like a huge cherry blossom tree coming out. I'm like, I can get that. This looks creative and cool and weird. And these cherry blossoms petals are all kind of falling throughout the arena. Like,
are they?
Yeah, it looks nice.
Are they creating a bunch of creatures that people are weirdly going to want to fuck?
Oh God, without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah, 100%.
Good.
Listen, there's a corner of the internet for all of this.
Now the impossible pivot to Double Fine's
before we do,
next
can I say something super quick, right? Game one of any version of this kind of Souls-like game tends to be a little bit underwhelming, I find. But what I'm looking for when I play these games for the first time, like the first instance of a version, is like, what's the platform? Like, is the second game in the series going to do an Uncharted 2, go from a fairly kind of standard 7 out of 10 to something like way better? And I think, right, just like Stellar Blade, this could be one of those games where you're like, whoa, hold into your hats. Like, this is a brand new franchise. And if they can make enough money to justify a sequel, that's probably where you're going to see the real innovation. So hopefully they manage to land it.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. The Uncharted comparison is a very good one because, like, that's a game that, like, looked really nice, but by about 2 hours into playing it, you're like, I get it. But yeah, Uncharted 2 then becomes this kind of cinematic masterpiece. Yeah, 100%. As I mentioned before, the impossible pivot, they showed Tim Schafer was at a pottery wheel in this direct, just fashioning a pot out of clay.
In a very sexual manner. Did he have
no, not
Ron Gilbert?
at all.
These people should not want to fuck?
Yeah,
yeah, like Ghost.
Someone is making a giant pottery dick in this
that'll
game
be the
and
first
fighting with
thing.
it.
Like,
yes, no doubt.
You're not going to be able to see the forest for the pottery dicks. Like,
the developers have probably already made much better pottery dicks than any of us will make ourselves.
That was the pitch to Microsoft. Like, let me show you my pottery dick. And then it's just like that thing that was out in the desert for Keely's thing.
Divinity.
It's that, except a pottery dick.
Double Fine's making Kiln. It looks like it's a bit of a team-based action game. It's PvP. It looks like Splatoon in motion, like
Every
in the sense that
physical
they're
copy
like
comes with a pottery dick. I'm sorry. I'm done.
yes.
I'm sorry.
No, don't never be done. We're never done with pottery dicks. It's the newsman's promise. So it's kind of two games. I mean, I shouldn't say that. It's a game about building pottery-like items, and then using those pottery items to fight in an arena to like capture territory. So it's kind of like in the sense of like Splatoon, you're trying to cover the whole floor. In this area, there's like a zone you have to control. So it looks like an interesting kind of multiplayer game. But on top of that, it also comes with just like you make your own characters at a full-on pottery wheel. Like there's a whole pottery sim aspect to this, and all I'm thinking about is like I want to play this game, but I'm not sure if I ever want to play the brawler part of it. I just want to make pots digitally. There's got to be a VR game that does that already, but like Double Fine doing weird shit. Like I tried to play Keeper. It wasn't for me, which is disappointing because I love Lee Petty and the games he makes, but it wasn't hitting the boxes that it did for other people. But like Double Fine doing weird shit should be preserved forever, right? Like
I think so.
That's what they do.
You know,
any interest in this? Like,
oh, yeah. Sorry, just on Double Fine before we can launch into it. I'm nervous about that studio. I don't like that they're kind of baked into Microsoft. I'm really worried about like a lot of these kind of like studios that have a life, and I don't mean a life in the sense of they can exist inside of it, but they give that kind of whole Microsoft sort of studios thing a life, because there's an energy about them and a reality about them and sort of levity and all of that sort of good stuff. But like, I mean, Rare and Double Fine, I'm really worried about those guys. Hopefully they kind of come good. But on the game itself, yeah, I like that kind of like sort of budget looking title aspect of things. I think it's nice to see that they've got something creative.
You like handcraft these beautiful pieces of pottery, and then they just attach like cartoon arms and legs to them, and they run around like a bunch of assholes. It looks great. You could also glaze your pottery. So this game's full of glazing, and I just need that to be known, like across
absolutely.
the world.
Is that a sex thing?
No, not at all.
Yeah, but you can dip your pottery in different parts of glaze. So what I imagine is a giant pottery dong that you then are just dipping different parts in to get the effect you're looking for. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Cool.
And then
This
you
is going
assign
to be
abilities.
a very explicit game, is what you're telling me.
Yes, exactly.
Great, cool.
There will be pottery's gonna fuck. Is what this is gonna be.
Does it? How do I put this? Are you able to like? You know, Spore, the game that was made by like, Maxis, and how you could make animals, and it would kind of like in real time try and figure out how that thing was meant to walk based around what it thought was a limb and what it wasn't. Is there any of that going on in this game, Brian?
It doesn't appear so. So it looks like you make your pot however the hell you want to, and then it just assumes based on its proportions, like legs go on the bottom, arms come out roughly north of the middle, and the face is like center front, at the top.
So there's going to be some real monstrosities in this.
Yeah.
Huh? Okay.
So it appears that it just assigns your limbs where it's like the proportions of the pot are, but it's not like it doesn't then mold your pot into something less of an abomination.
Cool.
At least based on the trailers that they showed. So yeah, I mean, theoretically you could just make a fucking disaster piece, I think. But again, maybe it smooths some of those edges out. I'm not sure, but it comes out, what does it say, spring? So like the next couple months we should be seeing pottery dicks all
I
over
don't
the
hate
internet,
that.
so.
Like, how many times have you played a game and you find that flipping it's like come in 2020X and you're like, oh
Exactly.
great. Oh
Yep.
how long is it going to be? I'm looking at every single thing that Sony's put out in the last 2 years. Flipping
Yeah.
annoying.
That's it, right? Like, so that was maybe another remarkable thing about this direct is that every game was announced for this year. So all 4 of these games will be coming out. I forgot to mention the Game Freak game, which I don't think I ever mentioned the name of, Beast of Reincarnation, probably because it's pretty forgettable. Comes out this summer. And then on Forza, like I said, in May, and then this says spring for Kiln, so I'm assuming, but that won't compete with Forza, so they'll probably just drop that whenever they feel like it's ready. And then the fourth one, the final one, maybe I would argue the biggest one, at least from a video game fan, probably not from a business perspective, because I'm sure Forza will do a lot more, was Fable. They finally showed like what Fable's going to look like. And guys, I've got an update for you. It looks like the original Fable.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
At one point, you kick a chicken, and somebody calls you a chicken chaser.
Nice. That is
is
minute one of Fable 1, you know, so.
Yeah.
Nice.
Are there any other questions?
I think I've learned everything I needed to know. I've
yeah,
never been. So I have played all of the Fable games. The latter two, I guess, in co-op.
Okay.
And that's kind of the extent of my experience with Fable. I was never like a huge I had fun with them in co-op, but it was mostly just because you can like fart at each other and that kind of thing. So like, I was never like a huge. This news is not sending me to the moon. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in watching it, I got excited about it only because it looked. I don't want to be reductive, but it looked better than I just assumed it was going to.
Yeah.
For whatever that's worth.
Well, it's been in production for how long now? Like,
yeah, I mean, a decade, at least.
Forever.
It looks really nice, and it looks like the way that you want to like you're going through wooded hills that vaguely resemble the Shire. You're fighting weird monsters. It's got weird humor. All of the NPCs follow a set schedule, so you can follow them around like in the town all day. One of the cool things, this is the thing I love about these games, I try to turn these games into a bit of an economic sim. Like, they brought back some of the stuff that I really enjoy, which is like buying properties that then generate you income. You hire NPCs to work at those properties. Like, it seems like it's as much of a tycoon game as some of those games could turn into too, which I really enjoy. All in all, like, I got to the end of that and I was like, I went from being like, this game's never coming out to like, I'm probably buying this game the day it comes out. So like, mission accomplished, I guess.
Fable 3 came out in 2010.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And I think that was the death knell to that series for a little bit, even though I didn't particularly hate that game. No,
it was fun in co-op.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of want to replay Fable 2 and 3, because I played Fable 1 like 4 or 5 times, but I only ever played 2 and 3 once, and like, I have so little memory. I just remember in one of them, you kind of do the third act when you are the king and you like hold court.
That's Fable 3, yeah.
Is that 3? Okay.
Yeah.
And like, I remember one starts out with a really beautiful cutscene in which a bird poops in somebody's eye.
That's sweet.
That's
good luck, that is.
Nature. Beautiful.
Other than that, I don't remember shit about those games. So I'd be interested in checking those out.
Right. So proper sort of Fable-y questions. It's been a while, obviously.
Yeah.
Fable 3, 15 years ago. That's crazy, because I'm pretty sure that I'm still only 21. But
yes.
Has it kept the classic Fable kind of Monty Python British-esque humor based on what you've seen? Okay.
100%. So I think they tried to nail that home by featuring Richard Ayoade.
Oh, God. Bless him. Night to that man, because he is an absolute national treasure.
He plays a giant in the game. That was famously shown at their last trailer like 3 years ago.
I do remember that.
They show a little bit more of that. But yeah, you're going through the town, and based on what you look like, based on your reputation, people are like shouting out things at you. It seems that like there were a couple parts in the trailer where I legitimately laughed out loud. The way they described it, to Xbox Wire via this VGC article that I'm requoting, it describes itself as a fairy tale, not fantasy. So it's very much whimsy, goofy, over the top. And yeah, there were parts of it that looked legitimately hilarious. Like, I'm pretty sure they didn't show this, but like, this is going to be a game where you can fart at people and drink until you get drunk and then throw up on somebody and then they hate you forever.
Oh, God.
Like, it's going to be one of those games.
Stick that in my veins. I absolutely love
100%.
that kind of stuff.
Me too. Yeah.
Based on the amount of time that Rich, you and I spent vomiting upon each other when playing Sea of Thieves. Never would have guessed.
So, like, one of the things they specifically called out, and I don't know how it'll actually work in the game, like, so they focus on that Richard Ayoade section a little bit towards the end because they've shown it before, and he's a giant. So you can choose to handle that situation in multiple ways. One of the ways is you can kill him, or another way is you can solve it peacefully, right, which is pretty typical. And based on how you handle that situation, the people around react to it. That's pretty typical for these types of games, right? But one of the cool things they showed is that if you kill the giant, because it's a giant, its corpse just lays there and then slowly rots throughout the rest of the game. And like the people around are like, oh yeah, hey, thanks a fucking bunch. Everything stinks and the water supply's poisoned and we can't get rid of this fucking gigantic corpse. But hey, great job killing that guy. Like,
I love the sarcasm in this game. Yeah.
Yeah. So it does appear to like have some of that. Now, will those choices just be binary in a Mass Effect way? It's either you do this or do that, or will it be more diverse? I think time will tell, right? The only thing that I will say is that the release date for this game is autumn of 2026.
We'll see.
Which to me says March of 2027, louder and harder than anything else I've ever heard. But yeah, you know what?
Exactly. I'll see you in summer 27, guys.
Exactly. The thing that I will say, and just not to just try to wrap this up and put a bow on it, and Leah, I'm interested in your perspective because I know that you and I, not that you haven't, Rich, but like because you obviously haven't owned a Microsoft console in some time, but like I've been really vocal about how pissed off I've been at Microsoft's handling of just about everything. But it did still kind of feel good to come out of this like with a sense of optimism that they're like there still might be good shit coming out of there because they hold so many of the cards to the things that I love, so naturally I want them to be
right?
A, less shitty, which I don't think is going to happen, but also
not.
B, better at what they do, which it kind of appears that maybe this is the start of I don't want to call it a rebound because like we said before, I don't think they get back into hardware in a big way, but like, can you see a future where Xbox becomes like the company that makes some of our favorite games and not our favorite consoles?
Well, kind of like I was saying before, like I can see them taking the Sega route and just becoming a software developer that has these tentpoles like Forza and like Fable and you know that just,
Call of Duty.
Yes, Call of Duty. But I don't know. I mean, it's the way that they seemed to go about things leading up to this point, i.e. buying up a bunch of shit and then just kind of holding on to it. Like, it's a weird, like, it doesn't seem, and I am far from being a business person, but it does not seem like maybe that was the best idea in retrospect.
It reminds me of one Electronic Arts once upon a time, which famously ended as brought to you by the Saudi PIF now company.
Well, can I? Sorry, I don't want to like make this too serious, but like I haven't watched it, right, and I will, but like it sounds like for the first time in a while we haven't just had Phil Spence or Sarah Bond just come on and sort of rattle out a load of corporate platitudes about being the platform holder, Xbox being the place to play your games, and how everything is an Xbox. This has been the year
we've had the most engagement with Xbox users.
Like this kind of stuff where you're like, we get it, you're a platform holder and you're sort of minted and you're part of a kind of umbrella company. You're like a subsidiary of a company with unfathomable wealth, but it just feels like what we're doing is patting them on the back for actually showing some games off rather than just sort of like blowing smoke up their own arse for like, 15, 20 minutes at a time.
I think that you are not wrong. That's exactly what we're starting to do here. But I think that maybe the reason behind that is because they fucked it up so badly coming up to this that even this is like, yeah, all right, you get something for this. And I'm not saying that's a good way to approach it. But,
against the shadow and the backdrop of what is looking to be like our third story, which I won't spoil, but like there's enough shit going on where some major companies are dropping the ball in like a massive way. The Xbox, at least there's an element of like, okay, well, let's accentuate the positive and eliminating the negative. Let's go away and do something that we know is going to be of good quality and actually work out how we can make some kind of profit out of this. Which is laudable because, Microsoft do not need to compete. Let's be honest. The amount of money that they make off Azure, off cloud processing, off fucking MS Teams, fucking during that Office, like this is a fraction of their actual profitability, and it seems like they're heading in a good direction with it. So
they're just clinging to the console thing so hard. Prices on Xboxes have gone up. Like,
yes, they have. Yeah.
That's not normal. That's not something that I think we've really even seen before this console generation. And like, they did not need to have this console generation. Like, Brian, we both have Xboxes. And like, let me tell you how many games
was for the first 2 years of the new generation. It was my primary console. I was like, I like achievements. I like the ecosystem. I like how easy it is to use. I'm just gonna I leaned on that, and now I've by what's that over the course of the last 5 years, I do not. My Xbox is a Netflix machine. You know what I mean?
And like I back when the 360 was the last time that an Xbox console was my primary console, and I have one right now, but I don't need it really. So like, I don't know. It's just I don't think that they needed to put out a box this time. And if they do another one, I think that's a colossal mistake. But I don't think they will. I don't think they will.
Weirdly enough, I think the best thing, from my personal perspective, the best thing that Microsoft could do is put Game Pass on PlayStation. I think then I'd probably feel like a lot more happy about what's going on.
I'd agree with that. And also, like, to your original point too, Rich, like, again, not to get like too serious, but like, as much, and this is my hypocrisy. I'm not speaking for you two. I'm speaking solely for me here. Like, I have pretty much boycotted Xbox. I canceled my Game Pass subscription. I hate their involvement in the war in Gaza. I hate AI, and they've bet on that super hard. All of those things. But at the end of the day, like, I'm a fan of good video games. So, like, my hypocrisy's bound is absolutely a game that I really want to play, because to me, games are what take me away from worrying about things like, I don't know, the war in Gaza and AI and other things like that, So like, hard. I definitely have a hypocritical line that I waver between, right? But like, at the end of it, like, I just want to feel like I think we all do, but definitely me. Like, I want to feel the way I did when Ocarina of Time came out and I was 13, and and if a new Fable can like chase some of that high, like, I'm down for getting on the positivity wave when there's so much negative to talk about, but that doesn't excuse it or make me feel any better about it. In fact, it might make me feel worse of how easily I will still send them $60 of my money or $70 of my money. I don't know. I struggle with it.
I mean, I'll reserve my opinions on my sort of general like favorability of Xbox when I see what they do with Bethesda over the next couple of years, and Rare. I think those are studios that, like, if you fuck them up, like, you're gonna like probably anger a lot of kind of people who've been involved in video games for a really long time. So we'll see.
We will see. Speaking of fucking things up, we are moving on to story 2. Leah, you're the world's biggest Ubisoft fan, supporter, champion. I really wanted to talk to you about this, Leah, not because of that joke I just made, but just because we have been, you and I specifically, and Rich too in the last episode, but on the first episode of the Characters News Network for News, we talked about Ubisoft's troubles and kind of their recent practices and everything else. So just as a follow-up to that, our second story is Ubisoft details a major company reset. They canceled 6 games, delayed 7 more, and closed 2 studios. The most notable game that got canceled was the previously announced Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake.
Which is a shame. Also, I would have liked to play that.
Yeah, me too. They have divided themselves into basically 5 different, what are they calling, creative houses to foster creative talent.
Sure. 5 different liquidated assets. Yeah.
House 1, The Division. House 2, Assassin's Creed.
So they've also delayed that widely rumored Black Flag remake that's being delayed for appears to be at least a year. They're focusing on the Division 3, and they kind of just outlined all of this stuff, how they're restructuring. And then, oh yeah, by the way, 2 studios are being completely shut down.
Of course they are.
So Ubisoft has been the subject of a lot of really difficult stories over the last few years, and so Leah, I guess I just want your opinion on this, and then we'll kick to Rich too. But like, I have a real problem with this, not because of the restructuring. I have a problem with it because of the people losing their livelihood due to the cancellations and closures and irresponsible corporate practices, and the fact that the 2 head people who run this company are still named Guillemot. So what are your thoughts?
I mean, what's there to say, right? Like, these people are not handling this in a way that benefits pretty much anyone except themselves, which, I mean, I'm not, despite what you may think, I'm not the biggest Ubisoft fan. I mean, listen, I've played Assassin's Creed 2, but
okay, so you know what you're talking about.
I do. I have a very unique viewpoint on this whole thing. Yeah, I mean, it's a shame that these things are. It's almost like the Xbox thing, right? Like, they split themselves up into too many directions. They committed to too much, and now that it's not getting them the incredible amount of money that they anticipated that it would, they're just saying, okay, well, the easiest way to make that money back or retain that money is to not have to pay these people's salaries.
Yeah.
So let's fucking get rid of them.
Yeah, it's kind of, it's just so irresponsible with people's livelihoods, and that's what gets forgotten, and that's the thing that pisses me off the most, obviously. Now, Rich, you and I both, I'm like on the penultimate mission for Assassin's Creed Shadows right now. You completed it recently, so I think you and I have engaged with Ubisoft more recently. I really like Assassin's Creed Shadows. I think the last one was good. I don't know what it means sales-wise, like, or what it did sales-wise for the company, I should say. But my taste in the company is down so low because of these stories and these recent events. Like, could they do anything for you and me, who are like more kind of recent fans of their recent product, to like, I don't want to say gain back goodwill, because I think that's gone, but like what could Ubisoft do for you, like to like be like, they're back at it, like, here they come, they restructured and now they're coming back. Would it be an Assassin's Creed reboot? Would it be new ideas? Would it be the actual release of Beyond Good and Evil 2, which they say they are still actively working on, which is insane that wasn't one of the games that got canceled. But anyway, what are your thoughts?
I mean, there's only one thing they can do, and that's sack Yves Guillemot. And his son, who is heading up part of the asset that's been stripped for 10 cents. Okay, so, a bit of detail on this. Better give up on Beyond Good and Evil, because essentially Michel Ancel is no longer
something that doesn't exist. Haha.
Yeah, exactly. Michel Ancel left Ubisoft some time ago, didn't he? And isn't he working in a zoo or something like this these days? Yeah. Separately, Assassin's Creed Shadows and Mirage did around about a third of the sales of Valhalla, which was very well selling when compared. So, like, Origins
Mirage
and Odyssey.
On PS Plus this month, by the way.
It is, yeah.
Maybe wanting to play that.
So
I did want to play that. In fact, I downloaded it a couple days ago just to have
there you go.
Yeah.
Numbers.
Sorry, Rich.
Origins, Odyssey, 10 million each. Valhalla, 15 million. Mirage, Shadows, 5 million each. So that's on a downtick, isn't it? And it's no surprise that they're going to revisit Black Flag, because that was the biggest selling game of the Assassin's Creed series. But, like, look, what would make me feel confident? Okay, genuinely, right, from my heart, stop fucking laying off studios. Like, number one, you have cultivated a fucking company that has strip mined studios, that has exploited studios, exploited its employees as well. You have taken advantage of multinational corporations in such a way that you've avoided tax. You failed to put out any of the actual assets that you wanted to do. You've got a corruption at the top level that is despicable, and you have nepotism in the next generation of Ubisoft.
Yep.
Nothing about this company gives me confidence, including the fact that the games that they are putting out, which are genuinely good. Shadows is a genuinely enjoyable game to play, but it's not innovating. So I think
no, it's not.
they need...
That's a good point. It's not. Yep.
Number one, stop fucking... I don't even know who they're fucking pleasing. Is it shareholders? No, I don't believe it is, because I think the shareholders should be calling for the release of Eves. So clearly it's not that. Stop strip mining your own company for your own profit and your son's profit, and then I'll maybe consider getting back on board. The bottom line is, though, I don't think that they've been a company that's been interested in releasing games. I really don't feel like they've had much to release. You look at their major franchises. Far Cry, Rainbow Six, and Assassin's Creed, with the exception of Assassin's Creed that's had one game out in the last 2 years, the rest of them, I just don't feel that they've got a roadmap for it. I really do feel like what they're trying to do now is just hold on to whatever assets they've got, release as many of the company assets that they're prepared to, damage control so they can keep shareholders on board, and then focus in short-term goals and trying to keep them in some sort of profit. None of this business model makes sense to me. I look at it and I'm just thinking this is done. This is literally done. All we're going to see now over the next year is just studio after studio after studio getting downsized and downscaled. And I hope they've got the sort of dignity, the quiet dignity to release people with some kind of severance pay and let them unionize in the process so they can form new studios in the outro. It's... I want to be like, haha, isn't this funny? It's just not. It's just grotesque. It's it really is.
When Yves Guillemot has a reported net worth of in the 8 or 9 figure range,
Fucking disgusting.
and then you're closing these things. And like you said, this has already happened a couple times over the years. In 2024, they said that they were considering a buyout, and stocks rose 30% because those stocks, when they didn't get bought out, those stocks only went down by about 15%. You know what I mean? So they are manipulating market and sentiment in order and strip mining for personal wealth. I couldn't have said it better.
But how much money do you fucking need? You own 13 to 14% of this company, the brothers. Right. You haven't got the chops to manage this company anymore.
No,
sell it on, go and live a life in comfort, and fuck off. It's just
exactly.
It really is that simple.
Lives. Exactly.
How much money do you actually want now before you're willing to actually take a step back, or is it just vanity?
You want to get in the goddamn weeds? I was thinking, literally, we were talking about this at work the other day. Me and a couple people I work with. How much money would you need to feel wealthy? And we all came to the same exact conclusion, is that it was basically whatever amount of money it would be to pay off our current debts. So if you pay off all your debt, everything, whatever, whether you own a car or whatever, mortgage or student loans, whatever. If you could just get rid of all my debt and say the only thing that I had to pay for was just groceries, utilities, I would feel wealthy at that point. So I look at people that have this type of wealth. I'm like, what could you possibly be doing with all that? Now, I'm not just talking about buying mansions and all the fucking, glorious, luxurious bullshit. But from a moment to moment basis, if your base needs are fulfilled and you can buy everything that you want, what else is there? And I just don't get it. I guess I just don't. And maybe it's a good thing. Hopefully, I never understand.
And I think that's a question that's worth asking every time you kind of want to interrogate the kind of management structure in Ubisoft and what they're up to. But the second thing is, I think, reel back from that, second question is, does the board and the shareholders, does the shareholders and you as a consumer have the confidence that the Guillemot brothers have got the know-how to turn this into a profitable company? Fundamentally, can this group of individuals please the shareholders anymore? And my view is no, and they haven't been able to do that for many years at this point. So instead of just allowing it to die and harming people's livelihoods and their creative endeavors and their portfolios and ruining their ability to make a profit in the future, step down. Yeah. Basically.
Yeah. I agree. So I'm just going to break down this division that they've done real quick before we move on. I'd like to get your both live reactions, like, because this is not, I'm laughing, but I don't find this funny because I think that there are more studios at Ubisoft that are in very real trouble, and there are more people whose lives are going to be like disrupted because so you have Vantage Studios, which takes care of like, you know, Assassin's Creed and like the big stuff. So Creative House 2 is dedicated to the Division, Ghost Recon, and Splinter Cell. So they're probably safe for a while, right? Because the Division's coming out, like the Division 3, they're working on that. Now listen to Creative House 3.
I don't know about that
go ahead,
because, you know, Massive, which is the studio in Sweden, had massive layoffs recently, and they made the Division 2 and all of the kind of stuff on the roadmap.
They also did the Jedi game too, didn't they? The Star Wars Outlaws.
Yeah. And Avatar, remember?
Oh yeah, Frontiers of Pandora.
Yeah, that's the one.
Leah, you played that game to completion. What are your thoughts on it?
Totally. I'm a huge Avatar fan, and
you and James Cameron.
Yep, we're bros. I'm booked on his next submarine.
So Creative House 3 says it will operate a roster of select sharp live experiences. Now listen to this list I'm about to read you, such as For Honor, The Crew, Riders Republic, Brawlhalla, and Skull and Bones. Those are what they're saying. Now I know For Honor has been live for like a decade or more. That's kind of like a weird success story, but like The Crew, Riders Republic, and Skull and Bones were all like news story.
I thought that
failures.
At least two out of three of those rather were shut down. It's news to me that they are still even going.
You know what it is? I've never played The Crew. Right, Riders Republic was formed off the back of the good work that was done by the people who made Steep, and I fucking loved Steep. Loved it
absolutely.
And Riders Republic, perfectly good game, like perfectly enjoyable experience. And I don't know how they fucked it up that bad because there's quite a lot of good things in there that you could make a roadmap out of.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think part of what maybe this is what we're driving at here, but I don't even think necessarily that the problem is the quality of the games themselves. It's how they're being handled and how they have been handled.
Yeah.
And because, I mean, like you said, Rich, I haven't played Riders Republic, but you have, and I trust you when you say that it is a good game.
Yeah.
So, like, why is it so shunted aside, you know?
I think it's because...
for Assassin's Creed 26. Like,
yeah. And Sony got a lot of shit for this recently. These are live service games. They turned otherwise normal games into live service games, and I don't know why Ubisoft gets a pass on this, if indeed they do. Like, Riders Republic is exactly the same as Steep, but it's a live service game.
Yeah, it's an SSX game, or pick your, like, I mean, it's a little more realistic than that, but it's a fun downhill racing game essentially. But yeah, that game, like, I love Steep as well. And I got Riders Republic, and I spent some time with it, but like the whole tone of it and the whole monetization of it just turned me off. Like, I didn't play that game for more than 5 hours, I think. I struggled with it. Creative House 4 is going to focus on Anno, which is the grand strategy game. Might and Magic, Rayman, Prince of Persia, which they just canceled, and Beyond Good and Evil.
The thought of Rayman doing anything.
House.
Right, except for Anno, which and those games are always weird, right? Because they have these long tails, but like no matter what, a new Civ, a new Anno, a new EU comes out, everybody hates it for the first year and a half, and then they make it good in big quotes, and everybody plays it for 14 years, right? Like, so I don't know what the money looks like in those games, but the rest of these are like what are they doing with Rayman right now? Like, we haven't seen a Rayman platformer. Like, I loved Origins and Legends. I thought those were great games. Haven't seen one of those. Like, they did the Rabbids crossovers with Nintendo, and then Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown was great, but notably, again, news stories that it didn't sell well.
Yeah.
And Beyond Good and Evil, which hasn't released a game since 2004.
And will never. I think there's other stuff as well, like Just Dance, like that kind of creeps out every year. I'm assuming that sort of washes its face, you know.
That's under Creative House 5, which is casual and family friendly games, which is Just Dance, Uno, and Hasbro. So they'll probably be fine doing the family.
Uno.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it's,
this feels like This feels like you've got a fucking consultant in your company and just went like, how do I liquidate this as elegantly as possible?
Yeah,
here's how I do it. Shore it up.
Yeah, very much a consultancy era type of move. So that's Ubisoft, man. I feel bad for anybody who's working there. I hope that you find a secure position, and for anybody that was laid off, we obviously hope and wish that didn't happen. That you find a place to land on your feet. I don't know how you recommend people get into this industry, but
there it is. Yeah.
Yep.
This is the effect. Nobody.
Yeah. Right.
With AI and with generally like shaving down business practices, like I just can't understand who would want to do this anymore. Unless you are, unless what you end up with is just this really weird kind of video games can only really be truly made by people who are from areas of privilege because they don't have to worry about eking out a living.
And then what are the games about?
100%, yeah.
But so that's Ubisoft, man. It's a mess, and I wish it wasn't for all the people that are negatively affected. Fuck the Guillemot family, and they should go away. Yeah.
I'll throw in just a thoroughly uncontroversial statement here. Support indie devs.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, 100%. I just played an indie game that we'll talk about on the next Character Issue podcast, but it was like a 12-hour Metroidvania, and I fucking loved it, and it was awesome.
Nice.
And yeah, so we'll talk about that later. But yeah, support indie studios. Indie games are great. The third story is another story about a big studio, but it's not a negative one. On Nintendo Switch. Have you heard of this Nintendo Switch 2 they have now, guys? What's
that?
It's like the first one, but it's like two of them taped together, and they put a big old 2 on the back of it. They sold 4.4 million units in the U.S. in 2025, and it's the fastest selling console in U.S. history.
That's a lot. That's a lot of units.
That's a lot. It hasn't been out for a year yet. It was June, right? Yeah, so not even close to a year, 7 months. 4.4 million sold. And I guess my question for you, so this is great news for Nintendo. Obviously, Nintendo has not had bad news since the Wii U, really. So they've been doing pretty good. I guess my question, Leah, Rich, you don't have a Switch 2, correct?
Not yet, no.
Okay.
No.
Leah, you have one, and so do I.
Yes, correct.
Why?
This is exactly what I was going to ask as well.
That is a great question. And for me, if I'm being 1,000% transparent, the answer is because I like the new shiny stuff.
Sure, right? It has to be.
Yeah, so when I originally got my Switch 2, I was unable to get a pre-order, and Elaine got one for me. So
yes.
I benefited from her being better at securing these things than me. And the reason that I initially thought, hey, I'm gonna do this now, is because I was afraid of tariffs and afraid of the price going up.
Me too.
Which it has not yet. It still could happen, but it seems like it doesn't really need to because they are selling a shitload of them anyway. So I don't think that will happen. But I mean, that was my initial thing. But I mean, really, it's just because it's the new thing, and I have enough disposable income that I can afford to get the new thing because I also don't do a whole lot outside of this hobby that I have that is extremely expensive. So
yeah, no, me
you
too.
know, that's
so I got my Nintendo
my
Switch. Yeah, I got my Nintendo Switch recap for the year. They sent out those things at the end of the year. Like, hey, this is how many games you played, and wow, thanks for being a customer, or whatever.
Also, I ordered that Virtual Boy thing. Shut up.
I want it so bad. Anyway, this is the problem, right? We are the problem. We are the reason.
We are 100% the problem. I am not denying that in the slightest.
So I got it, and it was like, here are the games you played most this year. And this is the year that the new Mario Kart came out, right? Mario Kart World. And then Donkey Kong Bonanza, a game I fucking love. Played the shit out of it. I think it's the best game they've released since Odyssey, in my opinion. It's a great game for me, for this guy. But my son plays the Switch, Top 3 games on the Nintendo Switch were Minecraft, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which is a Switch 1 game, and Fortnite. Those are the 3 top games on the Switch. Hundreds of hours in each of those. A Switch 2 game didn't even get in there till like the 7th or 8th spot, and that was Mario Kart World that me and my son played a lot of together. But like, there are not new games for this thing.
No.
There are not new shiny things, and the one that was supposed to be this big, event at the end of the year kind of came out like a wet fart in Metroid Prime 4 and didn't really do a lot. So like, I guess, is this just the sign that new games don't sell new hardware? Like, is that what we should...
Well, I mean, I think you're discounting the what was that tech demo thing that they had when they released it?
Oh, the welcome tour.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Now, it wasn't even bundled in. It cost you $15 or whatever.
Wild that they did not bundle that. But I mean, I think that a lot of it is that it's Nintendo. Like, there's not another company that this is going to happen with. Like, we just talked about how Xbox probably does not need to do this. And by this, I mean release a console. So, like, if that were a thing, then that's not going to happen. But people are used to Nintendo... Well, being really hard to find. I can remember all the way. I was working at a fucking GameStop when the Wii came out. That was a nightmare. Like,
sure.
That was awful. And there are still people who can think of this as, I'm going to have to sit on a website and refresh every 30 seconds in order to get one of these things.
Yeah.
So it's partially the new shiny, I need this because nobody else is going to have it. And partially just, I mean, it's Nintendo. Obviously, they are going to come out with shit eventually. Does it need to have so many games? Like, or does it really just need to have the form factor of you can give this to your kid and have them, sit in their room and do whatever they want to? And I don't know. I think that it is less consoles in general and more Nintendo consoles specifically.
Yeah, that's probably accurate. I do remember now, and I should have remembered it because it was in my top 10 from last year. There was a new Pokemon game, so that does move units. Sure.
Yeah, but it was cross-generation as well, isn't it? So
yeah, that's true. Yeah, it was.
So
it's my understanding the Switch 2 version ran a lot better, but I never saw the Switch 1 version, so I'm not sure. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think we're coming up to time soon, aren't we? But I think just a couple of things that I want to point out. I think, like, Nintendo have got the strategy right, don't they? In terms of releasing consoles that don't chase, like, technological advancement. We've all know the effect of AI and the cost of RAM at the moment and all that sort of good stuff. So I can see how making that decision many years ago and focusing on a bit of hardware that kind of hits a different use case, using more, I don't know if available is the right word, but less expensive stuff is probably the good thing. And I just want to highlight that, like, when Nintendo's doing good, we're all doing good, because the fact that they don't outwardly compete with Sony and Microsoft means that we've got like another kind of like lovely branch of gaming that is agnostic and independent of those two kind of sucking each other's dicks and trying to make everything difficult. But I think, like, the question you asked at the beginning was, why have they sold that much? And I don't know if I can adequately answer that. I probably think the answer is probably marketing and a feeling of scarcity and need. The second thing, though, is how did they do it? And I think in part that's because of the way that Nintendo made some pretty savvy decisions with regards to the price of it. So there's a little bit of kind of, I don't know to what extent you guys know this. Obviously, the cost of living in the US is a domestic issue, but it does otherwise hurt the world. So, for example, cost of a Switch in the US, local prices, probably around about $482. In the UK, that same cost is the equivalent of $510. And this is because with the tariffs that were going around in the US, they shifted the cost onto different markets to make it more attractive to the US market. And I think that itself was, it sucks, and it's partly the reason why I haven't bought a Switch 2, but it is in part the reason why they were able to sell that many units by keeping it down. Yeah, thanks for that, guys.
Oh my god, I am. We cannot even begin to go down this road right now.
Nope.
my cells are on fire.
But I mean, like,
anyway,
we even came off good. $510 in the UK. If you go to Norway, they pay the equivalent of around about $650 for a Switch 2.
That's
But I mean,
sucks.
maybe the Norwegians deserve it on account of the fact that they're Scandinavian. But I mean, like, this is it. Like, they just had a good strategy. They've got a good platform. They've got a good console. And the fact is, they can shift units because of their brand loyalty, even though they're not necessarily putting out the games to justify it. But you buy into a Switch with the provision that, and the expectation that you're buying into an ecosystem for many, many, many years. And I think Nintendo have proven, Wii U notwithstanding, that they've got the chops to be able to give you that confidence. So yeah, love Nintendo.
So I just want to just to wrap this up. This is not a Nintendo story, but I do think it's interesting. I know you guys see the link that I shared from VGC. Did you guys look at the top 20 games sold in the U.S. physical and full digital? Did you guys look at that list?
No, sir.
Okay, don't look at it then.
Oh, okay. I'm not looking.
So this is for the year 2025, right? So I'm going to read you the first two games. They're the highest selling physical and full game digital from all the platforms combined. That's Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. They Matt Piscatella ranked them all up, and Circana released these stats. So
Good
the first
citation.
one,
Yep.
the first one for the year is Battlefield 6. Not a huge surprise. That game had a huge launch and big thing. Second one is NBA 2K26. Not a surprise because it's the U.S. and that's a huge franchise. Sports,
Is this
appeals
just
to
in
That's
the
so
US?
weird to me.
just in the U.S.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was going to say, because that is surprising if it's worldwide.
Yeah, no, it's just U.S. So to me, that wasn't surprising.
Okay.
NBA 2K is hugely popular,
Yeah.
and it's actually supposed to be a pretty good game. I'm not into basketball games, but the people that play it seem to really like it. So, which is awesome. What do you think the third highest ranking selling game in the U.S. was in the year 2025?
And is this for any console, just to be clear?
Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. It's all combined, ranked by dollar sales.
Mario Kart.
Incorrect.
Okay.
Good guess.
2025.
Yeah.
Call of Duty.
Okay. So the reason I asked this, obviously, is because I expected you to not get it right, because it's surprising. Call of Duty was number 5. Number 4 was Monster Hunter Wilds, which I thought was pretty high.
Really?
That's they know that
yeah.
game underperformed,
Yeah.
like by Capcom's expectation.
The 4th ranked game sold in the U.S. last year, and it's underperformed according to Capcom. Number 3 in the U.S., which I think says a lot about our state of a country, Borderlands 4. The third highest selling game in the United States. And maybe even as interesting. So you go down through, and it's all these games, that came out. 14 was Elden Ring Night Rain, which was pretty high for that.
Wow, yeah.
Okay.
I thought. Number 20, Grand Theft Auto 5. Number
Wow.
20.
Yeah, 11-year-old that game is,
Jesus. Older than
Fucking
that.
believable. Pokemon was number 17, farther down on the list than I thought, but still,
Yeah.
if it's in the top 20, it could be considered.
I am
would-
now
you know
looking
what,
at the
just
list. And yeah,
For
I mean-
funsies, I would
I'm
I'd
sorry,
love
go
it if
ahead.
Halo was number 1. that would make me feel
Yeah.
so British.
Split Fiction. Okay. Split Fiction at 19.
Yeah, that's good. But yeah, holy shit, Grand Theft Auto 5 still. But yeah, Borderlands 4 was the third best-selling video game in 2025 in the U.S. So
Wow.
put that bee in your bonnet and shake it right up.
Throw that
Moving on
tiger
to our
the
human
table and yell at it.
Human Inch Story of the Week. This morning, as we recorded, they had a Mario Galaxy movie direct, and they showed a new trailer for the Mario Galaxy movie. I'm interested in this, not just because I'm a Nintendo nerd and a Mario fan, but because I have an 8 and 5-year-old who are interested in this. Therefore, I am interested in this. They showed off a Yoshi who looks very cute and cool. Did you guys watch this at all?
No, I did not. I
No,
will.
I was
I'm
going to, because the original movie's fun,
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
it.
it
I
is.
like
Yeah,
it.
it's fine.
But
I'm sure I'll like this too. I do not
I'm
have
hoping
children,
that,
but I have a cat, and she'll love it. Probably. not.
she will. Cats love Mario, famously.
Yeah.
The March the 10th, or Mario Day as we know it, hopefully that is where we can get some sort of indication about Mario's next foray into the gaming place.
I'm hoping so.
Yeah, I'm pleased that they
The
didn't.
one thing I will say about the movie trailer, you guys, I'm sure you will watch it. It's pretty cool. They lean, because it's the Mario Galaxy movie. Almost all of that trailer was stuff from Mario Odyssey, which I thought was weird.
Nice.
Well,
yeah,
see,
there
here's
is
the
Confusing,
thing.
but nice.
People probably, like, the target audience for this movie does not know the difference between Odyssey and Galaxy, so
That is true. And you remember how that moment in the Mario Odyssey trailer where there was just a full-on realistic T-Rex and then it had a mustache?
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that.
There's a full-on realistic T-Rex with Yoshi in the trailer for the Mario movie. So
Brilliant.
I'm already being like, this is going to be fucking weird, so I'm in. So watch that and send us an email to characterissuespodcast@gmail.com with your thoughts on the Mario Galaxy movie trailer.
Oh, here's a fun assignment. If they were going to do a live action Mario movie right now, dream casting for that.
Chris Pratt, obviously.
I mean, that's not
Ooh,
even
yeah.
a question. But
dream casting for a live action Mario. That's a great call to action, Leah. Send us your thoughts on that at characterissuespodcast@gmail.com. I'm going to say, and this isn't a hard and fast rule, you guys tell me what you think, like, Charlie Day would be a good real life Luigi, but let's try to be different.
Too, yes.
Yes. Yeah. Like, let's try to rethink it a little. But if that's your answer, I also think it's the correct one.
Yeah.
But yeah. So moving on to the last part of the show, which is, of course, our weather forecast. Meteorologist Rich Davison has gone through all of the games releasing in the next 2 weeks. Rich, I'm just going to point out some highlights. You can look at the list and tell me what you think, too. I think maybe the one we should talk about first is one of the later ones coming out in our 2-week period, which is your previously mentioned Neo 3. Comes out February 6th, which is less than 2 weeks away. Figure that out. Time's weird.
Yeah, I'm 100% on that. I mean, I don't have time
Nice.
to play it, let's be clear, but
Right.
I've just got all the time in the world for Neo 3. Yeah, I mean, very quickly, it looks as though they're leaning into a kind of multi-build mechanic in this game where you can switch between two builds like fairly neatly, and I think that's a really clever addition to the game and the gameplay that they mastered in Neo 2. I am absolutely thrilled to be playing Neo 3. I'm especially interested to look at how they've integrated some of the kind of quality of life stuff, because Neo 2 was very, very, very clever in the way that it kind of made concessions to players. It wasn't a pure Souls, like you could summon in NPCs and all sorts of different bits and pieces to kind of make that game curve around your difficulty needs. So yeah, bring it on. Team Ninja,
Nice.
Awesome studio. Love it. Can't wait.
Awesome. Leah, for for us perverts out there.
Yep.
And Rich is a pervert too. I'm not
yeah, we're
absolving
different
you,
kinds of
Rich.
perverts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are you on the Dragon Quest train? Because Dragon Quest VII Reimagined is coming out.
Yep.
That's the second remake of Dragon Quest VII. I attempted to play the 3DS remake of it, but didn't get far because I said to myself, I want to play all of these in order, and then still have not finished Dragon Quest 1.
So that's
where
the
are
thing.
you at with these?
That's the thing. Brian, you and I are soul brothers in this. We're the perverts who need to play things. This is why I'm still on Assassin's Creed 2.5.
Yeah.
But so we're allowed to say this now because it's actually out. We are covering Dragon Quest 1 for the Kane and Rinse podcast. So essentially that's going to, I think, be my excuse to start playing the Dragon Quest games in order. So while I am definitely interested in Dragon Quest 7, I will not get there for a while. So, yeah, that's where I am.
Yeah, that's exactly where I am too.
Yep, I figured.
I think we can mention this now. Can we mention this now? Are we clear on when we can mention Kane and Rinse stuff?
Yeah,
It's
out
on
to the public,
it's on
yeah.
the public feed now,
Yeah, if you do want to view it,
Yeah.
it's on Kane and Rinse's website, kaneandrinse.com. So,
nice.
Yeah, go for it.
Looking at the podcast schedule for this year, Leah.
Yes.
If I'm looking down here, where the hell is it? I'm
What,
trying to
Dragon
find
Quest?
it. There it is.
It's,
Dragon Quest. We will be playing
July.
that game
Yeah.
this year.
Yes. Yeah.
We will start this process this year. So, so very excited for that. I'm going to play I think I'm going to try to play both. I think I'm going to try to play the original and the remastered. We'll see if I have time.
Yeah, there's they put out the original on the Switch, like on the Switch Online stuff. So I do have a copy of it, and I don't think that the first one is very long. So that's also
I don't think
my intent. We'll see how that goes.
The other thing I want to, there's two other games I want to talk about. First one is called High Guard. Everybody remembers this was the one last thing from
Yep.
Keeley's event, and now it's been a huge part of the news because people thought that it wasn't a real game, and it's like all weird. That theoretically comes out the day you're listening to this podcast. So I have a feeling there will be some news about that game this week, whether it's great or just like a wet fart of a nothing. I don't know. It might be interesting. The other thing I want to mention, I just inserted a YouTube link into our Discord chat for a game that comes out in, let's see here, is it 2 days? Is it Tuesday? Where are we here?
I think I called this out on our very first episode.
You did, and it comes out in 3 days from now when you're listening to this. It comes out the 29th. It's called Don't Stop Girly Pop. Mm-hmm. It is a first-person shooter where you play as it's an arena-style movement shooter where you play as an idol, I believe. You accessorize your wand and your robot arm, and it looks like... if you watch the trailer, which I suggest that you do, it looks very chaotic and weird, but I'm kind of enticed to try it.
If I may, players are incentivized to use movement techniques to kill enemies in fast and stylish fashion, with the more speed the player gains influencing their overall damage output. The player can also obtain a substance called love from the corpses of fallen enemies, allowing them to regenerate a small portion of their depleted health.
Yeah. So Don't Stop Girly Pop. It looks fucking weird, and I like weird video games, so that might be on
Particular inspirations include flip phones, Bratz, Doodle Bears, and Ultra Kill.
Fuck yeah. Fuck. You know what else you need? Bratz and Ultra Kill.
Yep.
Like what else are you looking for? Rich Davison, any other thing you want to shout out before we move on from this news tale of ours?
You can catch me on the Kane and Rince show forthcoming. I'm hosting on Roll Cage 1 and Roll Cage Stage 2, the PlayStation 1 Tycho Cars Classics. We're recording that next week, so that'll be in the Patreon feed in the following week, and after that I'll be on the Mother 3 show, and I've forgotten what else I'm on after that, so yeah, listen out for me as I talk about video games.
Yeah, can't wait. We're sharing some microphones on the Kane and Rince podcast this year. I'm very excited about it. Leah, speaking of sharing microphones on the Kane and Rince podcast, do you and I have the same first podcast?
I think so. See, Brian and I are podcast sluts, so we are just kind of all over there. My first podcast, and I believe this is yours as well, Brian, is going to be Castlevania Legacy of Darkness, which records in 2 weeks. I, in the green room, was discussing how the camera in this game is actively trying to murder me, and I don't mean my character, I mean me as a human. It is reaching out of the screen and trying to suck my life force away and never give it back. So that's going to be an interesting recording.
Yeah,
I think our first couple of episodes might be the same. You on Balan Wonderworld too?
Yeah, I'm hosting Balan Wonderworld.
Oh, sick. Okay.
So my first 2 podcasts of the year are Castlevania Legacy of Darkness and Balan Wonderworld. Nice. And honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Perfect.
It's fantastic.
Beautiful. Poet.
So until next time on the Character Issues News Network for news, you can get this right here on the Character Issues podcast feed, along with our new Character Issues episode, which we will be recording shortly. I don't know. Why did I say that? Why do I say things sometimes? I guess that's just me signing off with a why do I say things sometimes, guys? Why do I do this? All right, bye-bye. Have a good couple weeks. We'll talk to you next time.
Bye.